Team captain midfielder number 10, Juan Pablo Papa. In goal, number 12, Simeon Cerda. Defender, number 13, Jorge Zavala. Defender, number 4, Ronu Kagama. Defender, number 17, Francisco Ugarte. Defender, number 27, Jose Kimura. Midfielder, number 8, Colin Fernandez. Midfielder, number 2, Harris Street. Midfielder, number 11, Joaquin Rivas. Midfielder, number 7, Billy Calistri. And forward, number 19, Ian Fontesa. Fulford is coached by David Barreo. Rangers fans, it's time to meet the spotlight for your home team, the Swope Rangers. Team captain, midfielder number 32, Christian Duke. In goal, number 1, Adrian Benzeja. Defender, number 44, Parker Moore. Defender, number 81, Omar Barrow. Defender, number 58, Dakota Warner. Defender, number 66, Liam Doyle. Midfielder, number 41, James Musa. Midfielder, number 85, Felipe Hernandez. Forward, number 33, Robert Northaven. Forward, number 31, Mansell Elwell. And forward, number 90, Jonathan Elmore. The Swope Rangers are coached by Nicola Popovich.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, the Swope Soccer Village and Children's Mercy Victory Field. It's a Western Conference USL matchup today as the Swope Park Rangers play host to their close proximity neighbors, the Tulsa Roughnecks, for what should be an exciting afternoon of soccer. Joined by Sam Cobson, I am Carter Augustine. We'll be bringing to you all the action today as these two teams sit perilously close to each other in the table and will be vying for all 3 points in a crucial Western Conference matchup. And Sam, if there's one player that's going to deliver for the away team, it's their number 10, Juan Cafa.
That's exactly right, Carter. No player in today's game will have more pedigree and professional experience than Juan Cafa. 32-year-old Argentine has played in Spain's La Liga, competed in the UEFA Europa League. He comes to Tulsa from Ecuador's top division. He scored 4 goals and 3 assists this season. He can do it all as one of the USL's best playmakers.
Meanwhile, for the home team, the Swope Park Rangers will be missing a key cog in Kevin Oliveira, but they have this guy, a talented youngster, Felipe Hernandez, to step right in and fill the creative void. Exactly
right. For my money, Felipe Hernandez, one of the top midfield prospects in the entire Sporting KC system. The 19-year-old continues to get better week after week. He's got a remarkable engine for his age, and his technical ability will be evident in the center of the park this afternoon. Let's take a look at who will be joining them on the pitch this evening, starting with the away team and head coach David Vaudreuil making 3 changes after Tulsa beat 3-1 winners over Portland Timbers 2 a couple weeks ago. Out of the side, Balu Bronico and Cleveland coming in, G. Calistri and Cerda in goal. Let's talk about the Chicago Fire loanees Calistri and Colin Fernandez. Calistri 4 goals this season, and then Fernandez, he's shown real impressive maturity as a 20-year-old throughout the season. Both players Chicago Fire homegrowns, proving to be enticing young talents at the USL level. Meanwhile, for the home team, just 2 changes to head coach Nikola Popovic's side from an impressive 0-0 draw away to San Antonio FC last weekend. Coming in, Adrian Zendejas and Dakota Barnathan, just making his 2nd start at right back. And then if we look at the midfield, Fernandez is the brains of the operation. The holding man, James Moose, is the destroyer. Powerful player, does a nice job stabilizing the midfield. And then Parker Marr, quietly becoming one of SBR's most consistent performers in 2017, and based on his merits, I would say he's good enough to become an MLS player very soon. So a tantalizing matchup ahead of us as these two teams will duke it out. 3 points at stake in the Western Conference in the early season. It's a hot and beautiful day here in Kansas City. Stay with us. We'll be right back for first half kick. Back here live in Kansas City, Missouri at Children's Mercy Victory Field. So get ready for the Swope Park Rangers versus Tulsa Roughnecks. And there's headman for the Rangers, Nikola Popovic. Sam, he's overseen a change in style this season. He has, and while the Rangers have not quite been able to come away with 3 points the last 3 games, talking with Popovic, he thinks SBR's last 2 games against a really good San Antonio FC team have actually been among their best performances of the season. We'll see if they can build on that today. Meanwhile, for the other side, the away side, Tulsa Roughnecks, led by this man, David Vaudreuil, and of course he's had to oversee a major change himself as this Tulsa Roughnecks team much improved from last season. Much improved, maybe the most improved club in the Western Conference this season. It looked like a real playoff team. Vaudreuil coming from Rio OKC in the state of Oklahoma. So the Tulsa Roughnecks currently in the playoff places in 7th place, just 2 points ahead of the Swope Park Rangers, having played a game more. We're underway with the visitors, the Roughnecks, starting with possession, wearing all orange strip, some white trim.
Meanwhile, the home team, Swope Park Rangers, dressed in the traditional blue on blue stripes. Roughnecks starting with a nice move from back to front, keeping possession from the kickoff. Of course, the Swope Park Rangers team known for the way they possess the ball.
Carter, I think the first 20 minutes will be key for Tulsa, kind of weathering this storm, this 4-3-3 high press that we know SPR will employ early in the game. If the Roughnecks can get through the first 20 minutes unscathed, be in decent shape going forward, I think.
It's good pressure from Dakota Barnathan in the game, making just his second start of the season, just his third appearance as well for the Swope Park Rangers. Of course, a couple of players we usually can count on from loans from Sporting Kansas City. Tyler Pasher away with international duty with the Canadian side, and Colton Storm picked up an injury, so he's missing out. Barnathan steps in.
Barnathan, one of the more versatile players on this team, can really play any one of the back four spots. To say today we see him at right back, also capable of filling in at holding mid, where we see Musa this afternoon.
The throw in down the near side that ricochets out off a Rangers player. Look for the big target man, Ian Svantesson.
Svantesson, hard to miss out there. He's an absolute load in and around the box. 6'6", nearly 200 pounds. Leads Tulsa this season with 5 goals.
Keep an eye out on the big target forward for the Tulsa Roughnecks, who start in a 4-2-3-1, but Sam, do you think that could very well match up with this 4-3-3 with a 3-man triangle in midfield competing against each other?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, that midfield battle. Obviously, SPR is, I would have to say, won those battles the last few games, having controlled the lion's share of possession and created plenty of chances against the San Antonio team.
There's the first foul of the game. Referee John Freeman putting whistle to his lips after Christian Duke made a nice play to intercept, and as he tried to release a teammate down the right-hand side, he was clattered into by an orange shirt. Free kick that Swope Park Rangers take short. Musa now switching over to Mar. There's a nice touch to beat a defender, and now Duke on the edge of the area. Or was he inside? That is the decision that John Freeman will have to make here. And it appears that the foul will be given just outside the area, and boy, was that a close one.
Absolutely. Tulsa fortunate there, although Freeman looks to have made the correct call. Mar playing it in. Looks like Duke got his legs tangled with a defender. And for my money, that's outside the box.
It's a good call from referee John Freeman. Good replay from our crew there as it showed Duke going down just outside the area, and so that's where this free kick will be taken from. A couple of Swope Park Rangers standing over the ball here, including Felipe Hernandez and Robert Mirosavic. Hernandez, who has a go near post, through the wall, but an easy save for Fabian Cerda, back in the side for head coach David Baudril.
Not a bad look there from Hernandez. With all the big bodies in the box, you would have probably expected him to serve it up in the air, but has a go for goal himself near post. Comfortable save in the end for Cerda.
Had his near post covered there, the Chilean. Part of a big-time overhaul that this Tulsa Roughnecks team made in the offseason.
We talked about Tulsa trying to find their feet early on. I think for SPR, huge key here. It's a little pressure in the back. Will be that patience, that movements, finding that incision in the attacking third. We've talked already about Rangers dominating possession against San Antonio the last 2 weekends. Unable to find the back of the net. But if the front three continue to move, continue to find the right spots, create space, they'll have to be confident that that can change today.
Hernandez wanted to foul midfield, nothing given. Is Fernandez on Hernandez there, and Colin Fernandez coming away with possession for the Roughnecks.
Fernandez, a really impressive 20-year-old, as we've already mentioned, in the Chicago Fire system. He's come in and really found a niche with this Tulsa team. Impressive young player and a bright future, you would have to say. Joined the US U20 national team, actually during the month of April. Didn't make the World Cup team, but he's got a bright future.
There's Carlton Belmar. First time we've called his name this afternoon. Just straying into an offside position from a ball from Liam Doyle.
You talk about another impressive player this season, Carlton Belmar, leading SPR with 4 goals. Can play any one of the top 3 positions. Fantastic athlete. Came from Portland Timbers 2. And you'd have to say that he has a decent shot of working his way into the Sporting KC first team here in the next year or two.
Really impressive season for the former USL Rookie of the Year. Saw there on the goal kick, there is a pretty stiff breeze moving from right to left on your screen as Cerda's offside delivery floated all the way back to Zendejas. Here's a ball over the top, gets caught up in that breeze. Belmar, good strength, finds Miro Savage. Has a go with his left foot and did take a deflection. Spotted by the referee. It'll be the first corner of the afternoon.
Well, we talk about SPR's willingness to possess the ball, but sometimes Route 1 over the top works, and able to see Belmar tee up for Miro Savage. Drags it wide, but deflection out for a corner kick.
And Miro Savage himself will go over to take this, making his 4th start. And he's got a left foot, so it'll be an in-swinger here from the corner. Right up to the spot. It's a good header. Was going wide, but kept in play by the Roughnecks. Great opportunity on the header from the corner, and a great delivery as well from Miro Savage.
Good delivery from Miro Savage. It looked like it might have been Omar Ballo rising up for the header here. He absolutely kind of flicks it on. That's training ground stuff right there, flooding the 6-yard area with tons of bodies and hoping that one of your center backs can go up and win it and direct it on frame. Ballo nearly does so.
And there again, you see the wind catching that attempted clearance, and now here's a loose back pass from Mar, and a cheeky attempt there. Juan Calfa immediately on the turnover, looking to chip Adrian Zendejas.
Yeah, a little bit of sloppiness there from SPR. Correctable stuff. But that's exactly what Tulsa's going to be looking for, those opportunistic events in which they can translate a turnover into a big chance. And nearly Calistri being the team on the scoreboard, although Zendejas was ultimately not tested.
There's a testing ball again over the top. Looking for Belmar and the speed to get him behind.
We've seen Liam Doyle do it multiple times already.
There's Belmar again, growing into the game.
And these are the times, Carter, where SPR needs to be patient, needs to find the movement. No need to show any frustration in the early goings. Move the ball from side to side. There's certainly a big concentration for the team in training this week.
A nip at the heels there from Jorge Corrales. Flex it out of play. It'll be a Rangers throw. Musa into midfield. Finds Miro Savage dropping deep. Here's Omar Ballo. Just had a good chance and making his 2nd consecutive start. This is his 2nd start of the season as well, but his first one was a good one last week in San Antonio. USL Team of the Week for Omar Ballo.
Exactly right, USL Team of the Week. And we can't forget, Ballo was an integral piece of SPR's defense in 2016 when they made that run to the USL Cup final. Him and Amir Jidic formed a fantastic partnership in central defense. So we know that Ballo perfectly capable of thriving in that position.
He slots in alongside Liam Doyle at the heart of the Rangers defense this afternoon. Here's Cerda trying to clear it straight to Mar, but good midfield work there from Fernandez. He'll charge forward as well, but switch of play and a good one from Tulsa. Modu Jadama finds Corrales, and there's a good pocket of space here as well for Rivas. Joaquin Rivas cuts inside onto the right foot, tries to find a teammate. A late challenge there, but nothing given. You could hear the protestations of a very noisy Tulsa squad. Advantage played here. Miro Savage trying to slot Belmar through. Good recovery from Jadama, but a heavy challenge in midfield just before that advantage, and John Freeman's going to go to his pocketbook here as Christian Duke still lays prone on the turf. And it looks like Francisco Ugarte, one of the center backs for the Tulsa Roughnecks, will go into the book just 11 minutes into this game. First yellow card for referee John Freeman.
Christian Duke, a little slow getting back up. SPR captain, 26 years old. He's played in every SPR game in club history since the team began last season. Wears his heart on his sleeve. An absolute warrior, an absolute leader for this club. Ugarte, on the other hand, the 30-year-old, has several years of professional experience, dual nationality in Chile and Germany.
He's already missed a game due to yellow card accumulation, so that physical part of his game certainly still there. So he'll have to tread carefully the rest of this afternoon. Musa with a slack touch just manages to scramble that clear. Still in some danger though, Fernandez. Finds Kafa. There's Paris G, switching it over to the right-hand side. There's a poor pass, trying to find the post up of Svantesson. Goes wrong, and now Belmar breaking down the left-hand side. Wanted to push in the back, nothing given. Roughnecks ball.
Well, to be honest, Carter, I like what I'm seeing so far from both teams. Tulsa's not sitting back. The Rangers will have their opportunities. We've seen that transition from defense to offense really open things up for SPR going forward. That's encouraging. And then for Tulsa, they're trusting themselves and the quality they have in the attacking third themselves. I think the first goal could go a long way in deciding this one this afternoon.
Tulsa, of course, with a midweek U.S. Open Cup matchup with FC Dallas that they're looking forward to as well. So perhaps that will be on the back of the mind, but it doesn't seem to be so far. Strong lineup names, and there's a great ball out as well. Kafa chests it down. Selbo, though, just slides in ahead. Good defensive work there from Natsal Selbo.
And Carter, you talk about the Open Cup. I think it's a good point to raise for SPR as well. Obviously, they aren't eligible to compete in that competition, but manager Peter Vermes of Sporting Kansas City may be looking to bring up a player or two from SPR to join the squad for Wednesday's match when Sporting KC hosts Minnesota United FC at Trojans Mercy Park. So it's an opportunity for them to show themselves positively ahead of that fixture.
Peter Vermes, along with other members of the SKC coaching staff in attendance, as they usually are here. Here's from a throw. Duke finds Miro Savage, turning in the area, has a go! Decent one at that. On the turn, Robert Miro Savage plays it just wide.
It's a good look, it's a really good look. And a good service from Christian Duke on the end line here. Wraps his left foot around it. This is really good for Miro Savage, just can't find the frame. Cool turn. Positive stuff, certainly from SPR.
Right from the throw as well. Robert Miro Savage, the native of Sweden, making his fourth start for the Rangers.
Something of a prodigy as a youth player. Received attention from the likes of Real Madrid during his younger playing years. Now with SPR, 22-year-old forward. He can play anywhere up top. Good-looking player.
So looking for his first goal for the side. Now here's Musa all the way back to Adrian Zendejas, clad in the all-white goalkeeper strip today.
You saw there, Carter, Tulsa pressing a lot like SPR would do in that situation. And then you get situations like this where you go forward you have space to exploit.
Good passing to get away from the press, and a really tasty ball played out to the left inside channel from Hernandez to Belmar, but Swope Park Rangers will pass it around edge of the area. Duke floating in across for Selbel. Flag stayed down. Decent chance for the Swope Park Rangers.
Duke had a little space there to serve a ball in. It was a good one just beyond the reach of Selbel. More encouraging stuff from the hosts.
And Tulsa, meanwhile, tried to get it started quickly there. Looking for Rivas down the left-hand side, but good tracking back from Selbel. So the Roughnecks again will try and build from the back. And there's a stray ball into the crowd, and a hand up, an apology from Fabian Cerda, making his 6th start of the season. The 28-year-old coming over from Transandino in Chile.
Well, it's certainly hot out there, Carter. I think we're probably around 90 degrees, but that wind from right to left on our screens really showing itself with these long balls that have been played. Definitely something to be wary of if you're a defender in this match.
Long ball up, looking for Miro Savage. Second ball falls to Natsel Selbel. Will step over from Miro Savage. Exchanges passes again with Selbel. Trying to play it back for Barnathan. Good double team in the corner from Tulsa.
Good double team, and Selbel usually really good in those tight spaces. Does a good job to win a throw here.
Again, it's prodded away. Another throw-in for Dakota Barnathan. Again, a good double team this time. Miro Savage is crowded out. Kaffa. And just a little mix-up there between Calistri and Kosuke Kimura. Calistri looking for the overlap and never came, so it's out of bounds. However, Tulsa's done well to win it back momentarily. Smart play from Parker Mara to earn the foul.
Less than 20 minutes into this one, Carter, but we saw Roughnecks play SPR 4 times last year. SPR won all 4. If you're a history guru, I can already tell this Tulsa team, far different product and a far better product. 2017. Vaudreuil has done an excellent job assembling a squad that will collect a lot of points, you would have to say, in the coming months.
Good partnership with the Chicago Fire as well, and head coach for the Rangers, Nikola Popovic, who of course was an assistant on last year's Swope Park Rangers team, said it's a much more mature team this season for the Roughnecks. As a bit of a commentator's curse there, it's played out of bounds by one of their more mature players, Juan Kaffa. We look across this roster, and Kaffa's 32, Kimura's 33, Ugarte 30, Cerda 28, Corrales 26, some experience in that Tulsa Roughnecks side.
Well, first of all, I think, as you mentioned, that partnership with Chicago Fire is huge. Having the ability to get MLS players brought down on loan. But then you look at someone like the right back, Kosuke Kimura, who's played more than 10 years in MLS and is now kind of in a player-coach capacity. So playing along the back line, but he's also kind of an assistant coach. So I think just a lot more maturity in the squad and a well-coached group as well.
It's a blast of a pass at the chest of Miro Savage. You can hear Miro Savage just taking that one. Selbel keeps it in play. Musa gets it back from Duke. Swope Park Rangers is playing that patient possession style. Christian Duke now finds a good ball inside. Belmar in the box. And a last-ditch challenge. And it'll be a foul against Carlton Belmar after a heroic challenge from Modu Jadama.
fantastic intervention from the Tulsa center back, Modu Jadama. This is just what SPR wanted. The final product there. Belmar can't quite pull the trigger, but that is exactly what Nikola Popovic is looking for. That incision, and we see Belmar picking up a yellow card for the action there.
Is he a bit unlucky there, as it looked like he was going to strike on goal and just at the last minute?
Yeah, you bet. I honestly think he might be. He's honestly just pulling the trigger there. Catches him with his leg. Modu Jadama down.
Take another look here.
I honestly think it's an innocuous challenge there. Although Modu Jadama comes away poorly, I'm sure that didn't feel too pleasant. Belmar maybe a little hard done by to see yellow.
Nevertheless, he's the second player in the pocketbook this afternoon. One for each team.
Going back to that build-up, I believe it was Musa to Hernandez to Duke to Belmar. All three midfielders getting a touch right around the top of the box. Nearly breaking through there. Encouraging stuff from Popovic's men.
And Sam, that's the change in style that we're seeing this season from the Swope Park Rangers as opposed to the team last year that played mostly on the counter. It's been a big objective this season for SPR to try and mirror the first team and how they play and try and develop these guys as they move forward.
You bet. We talk about that vertical integration from top to bottom, Sporting KC to SPR to the academy teams. Every team emulating that 4-3-3 high pressing system. The one that Peter Vermes has really stamped his name on over the last several years in Kansas City. You see clubs around the world kind of employing that vertical integration. We see FC Barcelona, a prime example of doing that.
Players like that man, Felipe Hernandez, having started in the SKC Academy, should stand to benefit from playing the same style throughout his playing career as he grows older.
Exactly. What it does is not only are you bridging the gap from Sporting KC Academy to the senior team, but you're making these transitions more seamless. These players are raised playing a certain system at a very early age. Being able to make that jump in age levels is all the more easier when you're fully familiar with the system that the manager wants you to play.
Looks like Modu Jadama has recovered and plays a nice ball out to the right. And Sam, you mentioned FC Barcelona being one of the teams that is known for their vertical integration. Peter Vermes told us he got a chance to visit his old teammate, the late Tito Villanueva, back when he was coaching Barcelona in 2013, and really made an impact on Peter Vermes and the rest of the Sporting KC coaching staff.
Yeah, being able to see the late Tito Villanueva and the system that he had helped put together at the famed Barcelona La Masia Academy. Vermes bringing a lot of those principles back with him to Kansas City, and I would have to say that the thousands of soccer fans in this town are thankful that he has.
What a ball from Kaffa, and an excellent improvised header as well. Requires the outstretched fingertips of the full 6'5" frame of Adrian Zendejas. A chance from nowhere for Tulsa Roughnecks.
A chance from nowhere, just as you said it. Kaffa with a brilliant ball over the top. Calistri with a header, and not even sure he's necessarily going for goal, rather than just cushioning it back toward the middle. Maybe he is going for goal, I should say. Zendejas forced to make a last-ditch effort.
So here comes the ensuing corner kick to the back stick. Ballo had to get there as Svantessen had pulled off the defender. Good clearing header there from Omar Ballo.
Exhibit A of what Kaffa can do to change a game, Carter. Tulsa had been relatively quiet over the last 15 minutes or so. Then a superb diagonal ball. And Calistri nearly directing his header on frame.
There's a long throw into, looking for the head of Joaquin Rivas. He had a good jump, but just couldn't quite connect with the long throw attempt. So a couple of good chances created by Tulsa in the last couple of minutes. There's an excellent through ball from Mari. He's found Duke in plenty of space in the center circle. Hernandez straight to the right foot of Barnathan. Hernandez, a little deke left, moves back right. Musa now trying to flip it over the top for Belmar. He chests it down. Miro Savage takes it on the volley and just dribbles one right into the arms of Cerda.
Not a bad look there. The build-up was solid. I think we saw a good glimpse of what Hernandez can do, being able to turn on a dime, pivot, excellent control of the ball. His technicality well beyond his years in that regard. As he continues to get stronger and develop his body, as we've discussed, he's going to be an excellent player.
Hernandez just stepping over. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Swope Park Rangers playing from the back. They lead USL in pass completion percentage this season. Close to 84% of their passes completed. There's an incomplete one and chance for a counter from the Roughnecks, intercepted in the back by Omar Ballo. Parker Marr has plenty of space on the left-hand side of the pitch. And now Ballo floating it over the top. Good ball, Barnathan. Patient build-up again from the Swope Park Rangers. Good interchange of passes, edge of the area. Selbel into the area now. Just on the stretch there. Fabian Cerda takes it away from Natsu Selbel. But again, a nice little interchange of passes right around the Tulsa defensive box.
Tulsa doing just enough there, but the linkage, as you say, Carter, those passing triangles, just little 1-2 connections around the edge of the box for SPR. It's good-looking stuff and encouraging, and I have to think one will translate into a goal sooner rather than later.
There's a poor giveaway and a sliding challenge from G. Doesn't come away with the ball. That's a tough one for Hernandez. It's given away. Tulsa streaming forward now. Kaffa finds Svantesson, who had just strayed offside, and that's a let-off for the Swope Park Rangers.
Certainly so. Kaffa playing through, may have waited just a little too long. Or perhaps Svantesson a little late to just didn't bend his run enough. And credit to Doyle there. Liam Doyle stepping up to draw the flag. But a sloppy giveaway from SPR and Tulsa nearly makes them pay.
And that's something that both Peter Vermees and Nikola Popovic have talked about. When you have the ball so much and you pass it around the back, just one little slip up like that can lead to an immediate chance for the other team.
So true, Carter. We've seen it from both teams, quite frankly, is when you control possession so much, oftentimes the chances you give up are off of your own turnovers in the defensive third as Tulsa comes forward.
It's a good partnership down the left-hand side from Calistri and Corrales. There's a nice back heel from Calistri. Got the move started, and now it'll be a corner kick on the other end.
Calistri's looked solid so far. Obviously, the header that tested Zendejas, we've seen him on both wings, creating danger. It'll be a valuable piece for Tulsa going forward. Obviously, already 4 goals to his name this season, tied for second most on the team.
Juan Kaffa here, the captain, to take an out-swinging corner up towards the penalty spot. Deflects off the chest. Some shouts from the Tulsa fans and Tulsa players. Nothing given from John Freeman, as there was perhaps a suspicion of handball there.
No, I think it's the right call, and Mr. Freeman had a perfect view.
And now Kaffa, impetuously, after he's called for offside, blasts it out of play, and perhaps lucky to just get a bit of a talking to from referee John Freeman there.
Yeah, for me, that's usually a yellow card, Carter, but that's neither here nor there.
Take a look at that corner just moments ago.
Maybe it does strike Moose's arm there. Perhaps a fair shout, but looked like John Freeman was motioning that ball actually struck his shoulder of Musa.
Certainly was a close one. This one runs all the way through for Fabian Cerda. Tulsa making inroads down the right-hand side. There's a lot of space there for Corrales, but the pass just didn't match the run. So Sobel can nip in and steal away possession. He's found Hernandez. Tries the first-time pass, but he's tracking back from Joaquin Rivas. And in the end, Rivas plays it out of bounds. It'll be a corner and a gift for the Swope Park Rangers.
And a gift that perhaps SPR earned. Good pressure there from Sobel and company to put Serta under pressure. But a little sloppy from Tulsa. And they'll be certainly frustrated if anything results from this corner kick.
A gulp of water from Robert Mirosavage on this hot Kansas City afternoon. Swinging it up. It's a good punch from Serta. Gets a lot of distance on it as well. Hernandez just trying to help it back into the area. Headed away, but a bit too cheeky there. Hernandez now, again, floating it across the box. Duke heads it back into danger. And Belmar trying to go with no backlift there. You can see what he's trying to do. Just doesn't come off for him. Be a goal kick for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Bit of an audacious attempt, but certainly not one that I have a problem with. He's got a pocket of space as we see another massive bodies for another SPR corner.
Not sure if Serta got hands to it or if that was Jadama again with a nice defensive clearance. He's been really active so far in this first half. Modu Jadama.
Certainly one of Tulsa's most impressive defenders, the young 23-year-old. Born in Gambia, grew up in Georgia. He's been an excellent addition this year for a Tulsa team that you've already said many times has improved across the board.
Now into the area and a great sliding delivery, as that was a wonderful ball that was going to cut across the 6 if not for Omar Ballo.
Big intervention from Omar Ballo, good service in. And we saw number 11 for Tulsa lurking there, Joaquin Rivas. Would have had an easy finish if not for Ballo's last-ditch defending.
Jorge Corrales again getting forward from his left back position and causing some danger. It'll be a corner kick. Again, Kafa to take. This one's a little deeper. Looking for the back post run. It's a good delivery as well as Ugarte tried to head it back into danger. Here is Ugarte again. Floated up for Svantesson. Headed away though. Ballo gets there first, and now in the area, Zendejas on the ball. And that's what the referee is signifying there. And actually, no, an offside flag has raised as a momentary lapse of concentration there in the back, and Tulsa player almost nips in ahead of Adrian Zendejas.
Yeah, and I was obviously focused on what was happening near the ball. Didn't see the offside flag go up. But to me, this looked like nothing, to be honest. No penalty, no foul, and obviously the attacker. Fair for Freeman to waive play to continue until he saw the flag raised.
Now Zendejas under some pressure. Plays it out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the Roughnecks in the attacking half. Good interchange of passes. Kafa has a long-range effort go wide.
Decent spell here for Tulsa. SPR a little disheveled at the back. Ballo coming up big, of course, a minute ago. And Zendejas was harried into a stray pass out of bounds.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 8 o'clock Central on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Hernandez looking for an outside of the boot pass, just trying to slip it through for Mirosavage. Again, read well by Jadama. And now Liam Doyle, Isle of Man international. A little too aggressive coming up, trying to step into midfield. 10 minutes to play still in this first half. Still deadlocked at 0. Take a look at there at the foul against Liam Doyle. Calistri gets it back from G. Back inside now for G. And Tulsa has their good spell of possession here, pinning every SPR player back behind the halfway line.
It looks like Rivas and Calistri have interchanged again. They've already done so a couple times throughout the afternoon. I like this dynamism that the Roughnecks attack brings to the table. Obviously with Kaffa pulling the strings and Svantesson anchoring up top. Not an easy group to contain.
Now the Swope Park Rangers will play it out as on that last challenge, Paris G trying to press high and got caught in a 50-50, I believe, with Liam Doyle, and he's still on the ground. Simon Fraser University product, and spent a couple years in Croatia playing for NK Rudeš. 35 appearances for the Croatian side before came back to line up with Tulsa Roughnecks.
As you see the replay here, I think Doyle accidentally just catches him with a follow through there in a place that is not too pleasant to be caught.
And it looks like we will have a water break here in the first half, as there's a hot one here. Typical Kansas City June afternoon. What do you think the coaches are talking to their players in that small little water break we just had?
Well, I think Nikola Popovic is going to want SPR to tighten up just a little bit. A few giveaways in recent minutes. And then Tulsa, I think they'll be encouraged by the ascendancy they've made over the last brief period. I think what the Rangers have got the ball into the attacking half, they've been pretty sharp with it. No goals yet for either side, obviously, but I'd honestly be surprised if this one ends scoreless.
Tulsa, one of just 3 teams left in USL without a draw to their record. 5 wins and 5 losses for the visitors. So it's not in their MO to come away with a 0-0.
When we look at that 5-5 record, Carter, season opening victory, 4-1, a game in which Svantesson scored twice. That home win was actually forfeited on account of Tulsa fielding an ineligible player. So in the grand scheme of things, you could say they're 6-4, although the standings indicate their 5-5 place. But solid team for sure. One that will be competing near the top of the West in the coming months.
And quite the turnaround as well, having been near the bottom of the West for most of last season. Here's a ball trying to slip it in behind the 2 center backs. Balo did well to read it. Selbel now. Man on, he hears from the crowd. Corrales just trying to get back and corral him. Miro Savage finds a run of Belmar, who's looking at the assistant to see if he's offside. He is not. The Rangers still with possession and pushing players forward, including the right back, Barnathan, now just outside the area, smashes across low and hard across the 6-yard area, but no one in there to try and direct it home for the Rangers.
Yeah, it's an excellent ball for me, Carter. Just no one's making that run into the goal mouth. It looked like Mira Savage wanted it at the top of the box. Not quite on the same wavelength there. And certainly something SPR is continuing to try to improve. Is finding the right combinations, the right linkage in those tight spaces up top.
The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow us on Twitter @USL. There's 5 minutes of regular time left to go in this first half. Can one of these teams find a crucial goal just before the halftime interval? G dribbling into the area. He's found a great pass out and a save away. Zendejas. Doyle just hacks it clear for a corner. But another wonderful chance for the Tulsa Roughnecks, this time coming from the right-hand side.
G just exploiting a bit of space. And it's Rivas hooking it into the corner, but Zendejas with a solid stop, and Doyle does enough. Shot lacks the direction to beat Zendejas. Solid save. And SPR on their heels there.
So another corner for the Rangers to defend. This one's a low one in towards the front post. Flicked away, and Kaffa trying to deliver at the second opportunity. That one's cleared away as well.
Scary moment there for the hosts, of course, as G found far too much space too easily there. Put SBR's back line in a precarious position. And they survive.
Miro Savage trying to go solo man mission there, and in the end it works out. Forces Kimura into an errant pass. So the Rangers can push up, push out of their defensive shell. Mar now, his pass intercepted by Kimura. And for G, who is started to grow more and more into this game in the center of midfield. How about that for a turn from Jorge Corrales as he loses Natzel Selbel.
Corrales, one of the more understated players on the team, but he's played 34 times for the Cuban men's national team. 2015 Gold Cup participant, 26-year-old veteran. And we saw there he's got some quality.
Meanwhile, again, Kimura. Expect to see that from the player coach. His touch leads him astray, but there's a wayward pass from the back from the Swope Park Rangers. And again, the men in orange will build from right to left. Here's Modu Jadama in for Colin Fernandez, the Fire homegrown player. Kaffa now slicing a pass to the right-hand side and just kept in play as well. Or was it at the last second? Goes out of bounds. Rivas on the full sprint just couldn't quite keep that one in the field of play.
I think it's probably going to be a perfect ball if not for this gusting wind, Carter. They kind of just took a hold of that one, pushed it toward the end line. As we see again, I'm not sure that ball goes out of play, to be honest.
Tough angle. We'll have to give credit to the AR, who was right along the line.
In a better position than I was, huh?
But it did look like Rivas may have managed to keep that in play, but no crying over spilled milk. And a bit of a trouble to get things restarted from that out-of-bounds play. Finally, Zendejas sends it up towards the halfway line. There's a backwards header from G that goes straight to Selbel. Now Barnathan hooking a ball around the defense. Corrales manages to ease Selbel off the ball, and Selbel a little worse for wear from that challenge as well.
And I can say already that I don't think there was anything malicious in this encounter. Just a 50-50 ball. And Corrales kind of just landing there on Selbel. Hard to see what exactly the ailment is.
Yeah, it didn't look like a whole lot of it in the initial challenge. Perhaps it was that follow through and the landing on the youngster, the 19-year-old for Sporting KC. Nancel Selbo, one of the bright sparks in this Swope Park Rangers teams this season, the SKC Academy product as well.
Solid season so far, and we actually saw him shine in a Sporting KC uniform last October when he played in the CONCACAF Champions League against Central FC of Trinidad and Tobago. Scored a goal at Children's Mercy Park in a 3-1 win. No denying Nancel Selbo's talent. He's got an engine as well. Hopefully he's all right here.
Just before the end of the 45 minutes there, so we have drifted into added time. Haven't received confirmation of how much time will be added. Perhaps more is getting added on as we speak. Hopefully Selbo can continue on.
What are we doing with it, bud? Can you give it back?
Well, Carter, I think both teams can be encouraged so far with their first half performances. SPR has carved out openings in the attacking third and really kind of carried out that objective successfully, and something they've really trained hard with this week. Tulsa, meanwhile, I think they've gained strength as the game has gone on. A couple chances created from Kafa. Kalistri has looked dangerous. Paris G has grown as the game has gone on.
And here the Roughnecks are passing it about crisply. Corrales does well to evade the challenge. Looks like Selbo's okay. And now a lofted ball to the back stick. Rivas in the area. Can he keep it in play? Yes. Passes it back for Kimura. Finds Fernandez. Hernandez challenging. Great pass slotted through to Corrales. First time delivery. And again, it's Omar Balo. As wonderful build-up play from the Tulsa Roughnecks there, deep into first half added time.
A couple of fantastic diagonal balls played in by Tulsa. And we see the second one there as Corrales is on the overlap and again forces Balo to clear behind.
So another corner kick here for the visitors. Juan Kafa, he's had plenty of opportunities in this first half. This one, again, up towards the spot, headed down, and Zendejas diving to his left, manages to keep out Ian Svantessen.
And if you're Tulsa, Carter, that's exactly what you want, is Svantessen latching onto that corner kick. Well delivered. Svantessen can't quite get the power he needs to beat Zendejas. Somewhat of a weak header, although he did get an excellent look there inside the box. Worrying time there for SPR.
Again, a good delivery from Kafa as he just picked out the 6'6" frame. So the Rangers with a big save from Zendejas to keep this thing at 0-0. Selbo now found a pass for Hernandez into the right-hand corner. Tried to play it off the defender, but that plan didn't quite work out. And now a physical challenge from Barnathan, adjudged to have been a foul. Chidama goes to pick it up from his goalie. Kalistri now putting chalk on his boots on the near hand side. The Roughnecks passing it along the back, and that will be the last act of this first half. 0-0 as the teams head into the halftime interval. Sam Cobbs, what'd you make of the first half?
It's an entertaining first 45 minutes. Both teams going for it, and I think both teams will have opportunities in the second half to claim all 3 points.
Certainly seems 100% up for grabs. Both teams with chances, both teams with some good passing play in that first half, but neither team could find the breakthrough. It's 0-0 between the Swope Park Rangers and Tulsa Roughnecks at halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back for halftime highlights and stats from Kansas City, Missouri. Halftime here in Kansas City, and the Swope Park Rangers and Tulsa Roughnecks still scoreless. Alongside Sam Cobbs and I'm Carter Augustine. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, as it was without a goal, Sam, but plenty of action for both teams as well.
And the Rangers started brightly. Corner kick swung in, and Omar Ballo, getting his head to it, nearly directs it on frame. Rangers survive an early scare there.
Hacked clear by the Roughnecks, and here was a good opportunity for Robert Miro Savage on the turn.
Good stuff from Miro Savage, just can't quite steer the ball on goal. Christian Duke creating that chance, and then another one here as he slides it through to Belmar, who I think for my money is harshly booked as he tries to strike the ball. Ends up getting Modu Jidama. And then Tulsa gains strength as the half wore on.
A wonderful looping header effort from Joey Calistri. Just about tipped over the crossbar from Adrian Zendejas, and then maybe the best chance of the game right at the end of the first half, a corner kick for Ian Svantessen.
Svantessen connecting with Kaffa's corner kick, but lacks the power and direction to beat Zendejas. And at the end of the day, it's a solid first half, and I think the second half is delicately poised as well.
So there were the first half highlights. Let's take a look at some first half stats as some of the Sporting Tykes on the field at halftime, and surprisingly, the Swope Park Rangers not having the lion's share of possession at home.
You have to give credit to Tulsa here for coming out and playing, Carter, and by that what I mean is committing men forward, enjoying possession themselves, passing with confidence, and Swope Park Rangers and Tulsa as well. Roughly the same amount of shots and shots on goal, so hanging in the balance as we enter the final 45 minutes.
It certainly is. 6-5 in shots in that first half, but still 0-0 between the Swope Park Rangers and the Tulsa Roughnecks. 3 points still very much on the line in this Western Conference encounter. And we'll be right back to bring you everything from the second half here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track.
Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man.
Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to savethefood.com.
Raise the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Welcome to Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas, the site of tonight's Western Conference matchup between Sporting Kansas City and Minnesota United. This is a rematch of a game just about a month ago on May 7th in which Sporting Kansas City made their first MLS trip to Minnesota with less than a full squad, and they suffered a 2-0 defeat at the hands of the Loons. Looking for revenge here today. Another sellout crowd here at Children's Mercy Park. Now Iko Parra steaming forward. He'll fire a shot low, and he beats the keeper, who was rooted to his spot. Iko Parra, an absolute laser driven in low from 40 yards away. Back to Schuler, chips it in, looking for Ramirez, who brings it down and fires a shot, and a diving right-handed save from Tim Melia to keep Sporting Kansas City ahead. And then on the ground, plays it over to Latif Blessing. The referee says play advantage. Here's Souni Saad firing his shot. It ricochets off the post, and now it's headed in by Jimmy Madronda. Sporting Kansas City are in control now by a score of 2-0. Now through to Mustafa, dancing into the box, puts it in for Dwyer. Now Abdul Salam sticks it in. And it's all Sporting Kansas City. They are cruising to a victory over the Loons.
Welcome back to Children's Mercy Victory Field as the teams are back out for the start of the second half. Still scoreless between the home team, the Swope Park Rangers, and the visitors, Tulsa Roughnecks FC. And Sam Cobson, it was a back and forth first half. Perhaps the Rangers doing better in the opening stages, and then Tulsa really growing into it as the half wore on.
You said it, Carter, and I think if you're an SPR fan, you'll want to see the team keep the ball a little bit more, settle under their patented style of possession-based soccer. And then if you're Tulsa, continuing to drive forward, really made a solid impression in the first half. Not content just to sit back and absorb pressure. They've got plenty of quality in the attacking half themselves to get a result in this game.
You see there as the Swope Park Rangers start off with the ball going from right to left, it was a substitute, halftime sub, Cameron Iwasa, getting the game started in the second half. Of course, Armone from Sporting Kansas City, and he'll check in for Robert Miro Savage. So a change up top for the Rangers as they move forward into this second half.
Iwasa, a really good-looking player. He scored 12 goals last year for Sacramento Republic FC, who finished atop the Western Conference regular season standings. Iwasa's got a proven scoring pedigree at this level. We'll see if he can make a positive impression this afternoon.
Rangers, as we mentioned, 4-4-1, 13 points. They're in 12th place, 5 places behind Tulsa Roughnecks, but Roughnecks 5-5, 15 points, and played a game more than the home team. So still early stages of this USL season, and the standings, as you would expect, pretty much still a jumble, especially in the middle of the pack.
It's an interesting thing to look at, because when you look at Sporting Kansas City, they've played 16 of 34 regular season matches. And then when you look at Swope Park Rangers, played 9 of 32. So something of a backloaded docket for SPR as we head into the heart of summer and then into the fall.
Of course, the temperatures will continue to rise here in Kansas City. It's a hot one this afternoon, and keep an eye out on the wind as well, as it's really whipping from right to left. Here's some great hold-up play from Cameron Iwasa. Strength to charge forward, and Jadama with an overhead clearance to finally rid the Tulsa back line of some danger, but some good signs there from Cameron Iwasa.
Absolutely love what I see there from Iwasa, and that's something that he's going to want to do. He's fresh. Everyone else has been playing 45 minutes in these conditions. Come out right away, try to make an impact.
Now Marr finding some space on the edge of the area, tries to slot it through. Well read, though. Logan G there to intercept for Tulsa.
I kind of see a few comparisons between Iwasa and Sporting Kansas City's Dom Dwyer, Carter, in that both have those stocky physical builds. If Iwasa could kind of emulate Dwyer's ability to really function as that first line of defense, I think he can certainly make a positive impact on an MLS team going forward.
Will have the chance to make an impact on this game in the second half, as here he is, Iwasa receiving the throw from Marr. And the Rangers will go all the way back to the keeper. It's the 6th appearance for Cameron Iwasa for the Rangers this season. Still yet to make his mark on the score sheet as well. So a big chance in this second half to do just that. Rangers cycling along the back line. Marr now finds Duke. Good first time ball in for Belmar. Held a little bit. Keeps fighting through. Selbel, edge of the area, fakes one shot. The release, Barnathan, his cross deflected, and then headed clear. Again, it's that man, Jadama, cleaning things up in the back for Tulsa.
Good spell here from the Rangers.
And a clever ball, but just offside Selbel. He fired it straight at Serta in the end. Well, you were just talking about a good spell for the Rangers, and just about on the through pass for Nansel Selbel there.
And just as I said at Duke, almost finding Nansel Selbel, who drifts into an offside position. But encouraging stuff from Popovich's side. More of the ball in the second half. Bright start to the second period.
And here comes Omar Ballo with a foray forward. Gets a lucky bounce as well, and Selbel now with the ball inside the area. Selbel cutting back to his left, lays it off for Ballo. Lays it off for Duke, whose shot is blocked away. Kosuke Kimura there to block any danger away from the Tulsa goal.
A wonderful spell there from Ballo, who totally stormed into the attacking third. Tulsa doing just enough to survive as Duke's shot is blocked. And then Ballo had to bust it the other way to get back into a defensive position. Exciting spell there.
Tulsa now putting their mark on possession, as they did have the majority of the possession in the first half on the road here against a team that it's been their main focus this year, trying to keep a hold of the ball.
Yeah, really impressed with that number from the Roughnecks. Coming into a place where the hosts are known for largely controlling proceedings, but Tulsa wasn't having much of it.
You also wanted a handball there on the pass towards the back line, but referee John Freeman saying it came off the shoulder. So good pressing work from the Swope Park Rangers to move the ball into their attacking half. Christian Duke now getting involved. He got a touch on the ball, and in the end, it's a challenge from Kimura. That'll be a foul against Tulsa Roughnecks.
An interesting call here. Once we see it again, I really don't think there's much in that, Carter. But John Freeman giving SPR a free kick.
Christian Duke, the captain, drawing the foul. And the Rangers have piled some bodies forward into the box for this Felipe Hernandez free kick. Hernandez raises his arm, floats it in towards the area. Doyle was there, but so too was Jadama, still alive, edge of the box. Musa gets a touch. And directed into the path of a blue shirt. Kimura, the first one to get it clear, and the clearance eventually completed by Calistri. So nothing really coming from that free kick for the Rangers. Barnathan now trying to thread it through a couple lines of Tulsa defense. Iwasa, like you mentioned, Sam, just a bulldozer up top, able to keep on to that one for a second with sheer determination. In the end, though, again, Jadama cleaning up for the Roughnecks. There's a great ball over to the left. Balu gets there first, but now the Roughnecks has streamed forward into the box. A slide across right into the 6-yard box, and Liam Doyle taking no chances.
It's not too terribly dangerous of a delivery from Kaffa, but the precision on the pass forces Doyle to put it behind. And now Tulsa has their first corner of the second half.
6th of the game, as they had 5 in the first half. Here's whipped over towards the penalty spot. Looked like James Musa was able to out-jump Modu Jadama. And Tulsa will have to reset. Some of the big bodies have stayed forward, though. Fernandez, plenty of time on the ball to deliver across. But Barnathan heads it clear. Selbel now just trying to calm it down with Felipe Hernandez. There's a great ball forward and a flicked on by Cameron Iwasa. He's found Selbel in space on the right. Belmar in acres of space on the left-hand side of the box, but the cross is blocked away, so Selbel will elect to go back with Hernandez.
It's really good defending from Kimura to cut out that cross, although I think Selbel was maybe a little late in seeing Belmar make that run across the field. Kimura doing what he needed nonetheless to intervene.
And there's that veteran leadership. Kimura sliding all the way from his right back position to snuff out the danger from the counter on the left.
Absolutely.
Coming from that free kick, the corner kick from the other end of the field. Here's an advantage played as Svantesson did really well to ride the challenge. That pass straight into the body of Cameron Duke, and this one will just be too much even for the pacey Selbel to catch up to.
I'll tell you, anytime you can muscle off a challenge from James Musa, you've done something quite impressive, and Svantesson did there. Heck of a physical matchup between those two. We haven't seen them coupled too much this afternoon, as Svantesson has been leading the attack and Musa's been in that holding midfield role with Balo and Doyle in central defense. But two big bodies there, probably the two biggest ones on the field.
6'3" Musa, 6'6" Svantesson. Have to see if they lock horns again throughout the rest of this second half. The ball floated over for Svantes, and he did well initially, and looks like Marr perhaps gets away with the handball. And the Rangers now will stream forward through Parker Marr. Cutting inside, finds Awasa, edge of the area, and a rip! Oh, it's a howitzer! Cameron Awasa! He slammed it into the back of the net, and he's pushed the Swope Park Rangers ahead to a 1-0 lead.
And this is as good of a strike as you will see at any professional level. Cameron Awasa, absolutely thunderous effort into the top corner. Parker Marr exploits space, and look at that. Pick that one out into the top left corner. Fantastic.
So the second half substitute making his mark with an absolute screamer. Fabian Cerda rooted to the spot. Couldn't do anything about that one. Parker Marr picks up the assist, and it's 1-0 to Swope Park Rangers here early in the second half. And again, straight from the kick, the Rangers trying to press and get forward, and Hernandez just trying to dip and dive inside two bodies, picks up a foul, so the Rangers can keep this attack going.
We've got the free kick coming up, but look at what Cameron Awasa's done since he's come off the bench. Obviously the strike, absolutely brilliant, but his link-up play, back to goal, his involvement in the overall build-up, being able to drop back into the middle and receive passes and keep possession for an SPR side that did a poor job of doing that in the first half. Fantastic first 12 minutes from Awasa.
What you want from your substitution you make at the halftime interval, so Nikola Popovic will be happy with that. And here's a free kick. Again, Hernandez standing over it. So too Musa, he has a go, but it's an easy catch for Fabian Cerda. And now Hernandez puts Rivas in the grass, and it's an easy foul call against the Swope Park Rangers. Sam, the Rangers, of course, had a 9-game home winning streak snapped the last time out here at Children's Mercy Victory Field a couple weeks ago, losing to San Antonio FC. But it's been friendly confines for the most part in the short history of the Swope Park Rangers.
It certainly has, and the schedule gives the team a good opportunity to start another one, because we've got SPR has a 3-game homestand, obviously beginning today with Tulsa, and then Phoenix Rising FC next Sunday afternoon. The likes of Didier Drogba, you may have heard of him, or Omar Bravo, Sean Wright Phillips. That'll be a fun one, to say the least.
Certainly looking forward to that one next weekend, and the Rangers trying to get back in the win column at home here. Lead by a score of 1-0 as we approach an hour played. So the Roughnecks now will try and find a way back into the game. Played out of play there by Chadama, and that will allow for the second substitution of the game. Again for the Rangers, as Lebo Maloto checks in and Felipe Hernandez, the SKC Academy product, checks out. Sam, what'd you make of the afternoon from Felipe Hernandez?
I think it was a very solid hour. I think he was solid in possession, composed on the ball. And his set pieces weren't quite up to par, but another promising shift from a very bright young player, Felipe Hernandez. And then coming in, Lebo Maloto, 26-year-old attacking player who can play just about anywhere in the midfield or up top. Saw him score a goal and add an assist about a month ago in a victory over home victory for the Rangers, and an impressive player himself.
Lebo Maloto making his third appearance off the bench for the Rangers this season, his 8th in total as well. He does have a goal and an assist to his name. A creative player. See how he fits into the Rangers' second half plans here. Meanwhile, for David Vaudreuil and the Tulsa Roughnecks, they've only come here with 5 players available off the bench to them. It's a short 4-hour drive between Kansas City and Tulsa. Perhaps that Open Cup game looming. That's why Vaudreuil elects to go with a shortened bench.
Talk about a fantastic opportunity for the Roughnecks to really make a name for themselves at the MLS level, playing against a fantastic FC Dallas team that has put together 2 fantastic regular seasons in a row. Solid club down in Dallas.
Maloto settling things down in midfield, and now Mara again can charge into some space. He did that so well in the build-up to Cameron Owasa's goal. Maloto just trying to get the ball at his feet, make an imprint. Here comes Musa, who has a rip towards the near post. Not going to trouble Fabian Cerda at all there, James Musa. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 8 o'clock Central on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Tulsa coming down the left-hand side through Calistri. Tries a nice little cutback move there, but it did look as though his teammate had strayed into an offside position. I believe that's Juan Kafa, and he's trying to signal to Calistri that he wants to pass sooner there.
Ultimately, an easy call for the linesman. This will be a fascinating final half hour, Carter, with SPR getting that breakthrough goal. Tulsa obviously has been adventurous throughout the afternoon, but potentially opening up even more so as we enter the final third of the game. And will SPR be able to fend that off while at the same time creating chances going forward as the midfield continues to get stretched?
Pockets starting to develop in midfield. And there's a strong tackle away. Kafa now looking over the top for Rivas, but Mar read the fly of the ball, and it's a difficult one this afternoon with the wind playing a huge factor. All the way back to Adrian Zendejas, making his 5th start for the Rangers this season. Just 1 shutout so far on the season for Zendejas, so trying to pad to his tally this afternoon and doing a good job so far through the first hour of the game. Now the 3rd substitution for Nikola Popovic, and it's a familiar face, Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He will check into the game, making just his 4th appearance of the season. He's had some injury problems, Mark Anthony Gonzalez. He replaces Natsu Selbo.
Natsu Selbo, solid outing. Dinged up a little bit throughout the afternoon, so his afternoon ends a little bit early. And then Mark Anthony Gonzalez, SPR's 2016 Offensive Player of the Year, 9 goals to his name last year, but he's fought some nagging injuries as well. Just now getting back into the swing of things. We can hope that he resumes his scoring form that he really took off last season, his rookie season. Solid player out of the University of Evansville.
Had a slow start to last season as well, did Gonzalez, so the Rangers will be hoping he can replicate his second half form from last year. Spent some time with the Canadian U23s over in Qatar in the early months of the season and suffered an injury over there that he just hasn't been able to overcome so far. And now here's a misplay in the back, and Owasa just hounding Ugarte. But just enough strength from Francisco Ugarte, who initially looked to maybe lose out to Cam Owasa there.
Ugarte saved himself there. It had been a very costly giveaway as Owasa was lurking and nearly pounced on that loose ball.
Calistri now finds some space, tries to loft it over the top. It's a good ball. Now across the 6 again, and a deflected clearance. You can hear the fortuitous claps from the zoo just behind Adrian Zendejas' goal there.
Really impressive stuff there from Calistri, and then the ball played in. Rangers a little fortunate the way that ball pinged around, fortunately into Zendejas' hands.
And you see that ball gets just absolutely caught up in the wind there. Good header won by G, but second ball won by Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Ugarte now under pressure from Gonzalez. There's a big challenge between Von Tessen and Liam Doyle, asking a lot of the big target striker there were the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Kopp is furious that his Tulsa teammates are pressing higher up the field there.
And a good passing move after Tulsa did try and press. Rangers able to break out with some crisp midfield triangles. And Moose's touch lets him down when it looked like he could have created something for the Rangers just there. Strong tackle, Mar. Iwasa around Ugarte in the end, who perhaps just got a touch on the ball. What a dangerous challenge from Francisco Ugarte, already on a yellow card.
Yeah, Ugarte living a little bit dangerously there. And Parker Mar, we saw him assist Iwasa's goal. A little challenge there to win possession. Excellent job. Iwasa not quite able to round Ugarte.
Kafa now laying it off for Calistri. Looking for Von Tessen, and he had strayed offside for Tulsa. It's a big body, tough to miss when he's in an offside position.
Certainly so, and I would say that thus far SPR has done a good job limiting his aerial prowess. Obviously he had one look at goal in the first half off of a Kafa corner kick in which he got a little bit of space and directed a header on goal, but right at Zendejas. I'd say Balo and Doyle have thus far done a solid job on the target man.
Mar in that side again for Iwasa. Really has brought some impetus to this Swope Park Rangers attack in the second half. And now the Rangers can knock it around a bit as well, try and play Tulsa's defense from side to side. Belmar running the channel on the right. And Barnathan will take the space, dribble at some defenders, slots it in for Mark Anthony Gonzalez, but he was clearly offside there.
Positive play from Barnathan though. Cutting in from that right wing. Sliding a through ball into the box. Mark Anthony Gonzalez in an offside position, but first time we've really seen Barnathan show what he can do going forward.
So the offside allows for a double substitution from David Vaudreuil, and the Tulsa Roughnecks trailing by a 0-0 here with just over 20 minutes left. As a couple replacements come in. First into midfield, Bradley Bourgeois will replace Paris G. And then we talked about that big target forward, Ian Svantessen. You can see him just trotting off the field now, perhaps a bit disappointed not to add to his goal tally, which does lead the Tulsa Roughnecks. He's replaced by Pasha Kondrakin. So here comes Tulsa now with two new members of the team on the pitch. It's a good ball inside and a flicked pass back to the Roughneck, and then out of play for a corner kick here.
It's Pasha Kondrakin immediately making an impact for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Slipping behind the defense. First we saw him with a clever backheel pass, but then shot falls to him there. Zendejas forced into action.
Some confusion there in the back, and it's a corner kick now for the Roughnecks. Headed away. Good header from Liam Doyle to clear his lines. So live edge of the area, and that's an ambitious effort, to say the least, as looked like Corrales there trying to take down that ball and hammer it with his left foot.
If SPR wants to shut the door here and take all 3 points, it's going to require a level of concentration, especially along the back and in the midfield. No costly giveaways, no lulls.
You see the space open up, and now a good ball in for Gonzalez. He's onside, flicks it over the keeper, and a sliding save. Excellently done by Fabian Cerda, as Mark Anthony Gonzalez had beat the offside trap there.
And Maloto with a beautiful ball through the middle, like a knife through butter. So you see him pick his head up, slide it through. Gonzalez times his run perfectly. And look at that phenomenal kick save from Cerda. His best moment of the match by far. What a stop.
You see Gonzalez congratulating the keeper there. Real recognize real, as they say. It's a fantastic stop to keep this game at a 1-goal deficit for the Roughnecks, but they'll have to defend a corner kick now. Maloto into the game, delivering corners. It's a good ball for Cam Iwasa, who just looked like he was in between thoughts there.
Yeah, and what ultimately happened is he kind of steered it right into the path of Mark Anthony Gonzalez, who wasn't quite anticipating such an action. And poised defending there from Tulsa, just cushion header back into the hands of Cerda.
Kafa using his strength to ward off Musa and flick a header on that allows Tulsa to move forward into the attacking third. Couple step overs from Rivas. He's found Bradley Bourgeois. There's a really clever slip pass, but just a bit too heavy. The subs trying to combine there, Bourgeois and Kondrakin.
It's a good look from Bourgeois, and Kondrakin may have just held his run just a second. That hesitation may have prevented him from latching onto the end of this ball. It just, yeah, a little hesitation there. Wasn't sure if the ball was going to get through traffic, and now SPR is going the other way.
And now directly up the other end, the Swope Park Rangers. Belmar finds Gonzalez. Maloto, Gonzalez. Substitutes combining together. And now the Rangers will go all the way back to Adrian Zendejas. And that one's just cleared all the way up. Nikola Popovic won't be happy giving away possession like that.
You said it, Carter. Too easily given away there, especially when with a 1-goal lead at this stage of the afternoon. Doesn't quite make sense to be doing something like that. More time on the ball, the better right now for SPR, more than ever.
Inside, what a clever touch from Kafa to evade the challenge of Christian Duke. Rivas now waiting for the overlap from Kimura. He gets it. Gonzalez trying to get there. It's a wonderful ball to the back post. Kick save. Adrian Zendejas down in a hurry, and it takes the deflection off an orange shirt as well. So it'll be a goal kick for the Swope Park Rangers.
Well, Adrian Zendejas take a bow because overlap here from Kimura. He's going to serve a delicious ball across the face of goal. A strike on target from Calistri. But Zendejas getting big. And he blocks out with his knee, perhaps. Huge stop to preserve the SPR lead.
And from back to front there in quickness. Wonderful attacking chance for the Tulsa Roughnecks. There's a great header in midfield, powerful from the sub Bradley Bourgeois. Played at the University of Tulsa, so familiar with his new Tulsa surroundings. There's a cushion header now. Rivas, tons of space, edge of the area. Rivas cutting inside of his left. It's straight into the face of James Musa. Calistri now keeping it alive, and it's turned home for an own goal. Omar Balo trying to deflect the cross away, and all he can do is to deflect it into his own net. The Roughnecks have pulled back an equalizer. It's 1-1.
Well, a bit of fortune from Tulsa, perhaps, but Calistri serving in this ball, and it's an excellent ball, and sometimes that forces defenders into uncomfortable situations where this happens. You see the initial attack is repelled. Calistri keeps after it. Swings the ball in. Ballo, unsure of what's behind him, steers it into his own net.
And how about a shout for Calistri there to stay on his feet after it looked like Liam Doyle had touched the ball away momentarily. Calistri heads up, gets back on his feet.
Looked like for a second there, Calistri may have tried to fall to ground and bid for a penalty kick. Instead, he, as you say, Carter, he keeps after it. And Tulsa's level.
So 1-1 now with 15 minutes to play in regulation. An own goal has leveled the score. And Tulsa now starting to feel some momentum shift here. Maloto, though, does well to intercept that pass. And Christian Duke, in turn, does well to draw a foul.
We've still got about a quarter of an hour left, Carter, but I would have to say that thus far, both halves have kind of mirrored one another in that Rangers have started brightly, been the better team, and then Tulsa gains strength as the afternoon goes on. Obviously, Roughnecks will be well accustomed to playing in these types of conditions, so 90-degree sunny day. We'll be playing in the brutal Tulsa heat, and I don't think that's something that's affected them today, to their credit.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nike.com/soccer. So the Rangers had the lead for approximately 20 minutes or so in this second half, and it's all even now. 3 subs already used by SPR, 2 used by Tulsa, and a third getting ready on the sideline. Here's a ball over the top again. Belmar just trying to get him behind, but that wind just whipping from right to left, making those balls really tough to complete here in the second half. And as that drifts out of play, it will allow the Tulsa Roughnecks to make their final substitution of the game here. Colin Fernandez leaving the game. And a bit of a super sub for Tulsa Roughnecks. Brady Ballou making his 6th appearance off the bench. That is the most sub appearances for the Tulsa Roughnecks this season.
Colin Fernandez, we mentioned the 20-year-old who joined the U.S. U20s for a training camp in April, didn't make the final roster for the U20 World Cup in South Korea, which was played May 20th through June 11th. Excuse me, through June 4th of this year. But a positive performance from Fernandez, and now we see Brady Ballou enter the fray.
So that youth on full display. The Chicago Fire loanee Fernandez, as he makes way for Brady Ballou, the Seattle University product. And he'll have just over 10 minutes to make his mark, like Cameron Owasa has already for the Swope Park Rangers. Here's Bradley Bourgeois chasing it down in midfield, and player coach Kosuke Kimura puts it back in his right back position now.
Again, as the half continues to drag on like we saw in the first half, Tulsa not only their quality showing, but seeing more of the ball as well. If SPR can get back into it and string some passes together, get Tulsa back on the back foot, and maybe get 3 points from this fixture.
Kaffa really has grown into it as the second half has gone on. This time, though, he's trying to find a ball as it does find its way to Bourgeois, and he cuts it across the area looking for a teammate on the penalty spot. A rather innocuous-looking ball from Kaffa there, turning into quite some danger for the Swope Park Rangers.
How good of a pass was that? As you said, Carter, I'm not even sure if he's necessarily looking for Bourgeois in that instance, but the wind may have carried that ball, done something strange with it, and set up nicely for Bourgeois. That's not to say Kaffa maybe didn't intend to pass it to him. He may have. We know his quality.
Duke just getting a foot in to break up what has been a slew of orange-shirted passes. Here's another ball just trying to curl it in behind the Rangers defense. Now Rivas gets a cut back in the area. His shot blocked away. James Musa there to stand tall for the Rangers. Edge of the area now, Kafa! And that was dipping under the crossbar. Zendejas backing up and safe two hands over the crossbar, but the Tulsa pressure piling on now.
Roughnecks really in a good spell now as Kafa strikes this one brilliantly. And that maybe dipping under the crossbar. Zendejas has to be sure.
Kafa again from the corner. This one right up towards the 6. Doyle able to win the aerial duel, and now Iwasa just trying to bulldog his way away from goal, trying to sprint away from Jadama. Great hold-up play from Cam Iwasa, and that allows the Rangers to really escape a sustained bit of pressure from the Tulsa Roughnecks.
I think Iwasa's really done everything you could have asked him to do since he entered the game at halftime. In addition to scoring a superb goal, very strong on the ball, holding it up there, as you saw. Not an easy thing to do against someone like Modi Jadama.
Here's Belmar going one-on-one with Corrales. Get some help there, a double team coming over. Calistri helping to usher that out of play. Barnathan back in for Belmar. That cross actually finds its way through to Maloto as he tries to curl an effort on goal, headed away again by Jadama. He's been an absolute rock at the back for the Tulsa Roughnecks this afternoon. There's a high lofted pass that Kimura does well to read. And Kafa settles it. Brings it back, and an excellent splitting ball through the heart of the Swope Park Rangers midfield. Juan Kafa really starting to put his imprint all over this game.
His quality is really shown in the second half as the pace of the match has died down just a bit. It's allowed him to really exploit some spaces and show his class, what he can do on the ball and his delivery.
There's a whipped cross that just manages to stay in, but offside on the run. Looked like Pasha Kondrakin there had just taken off a little too early.
I think it's restarts like this that will allow SPR to kind of regroup, build from the back, move forward.
Certainly the visitors, the Tulsa Roughnecks, have picked up the pressure and since getting their equalizer have created chances as well. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. There's some nervy passing around the back, but the Rangers do ping it around and manage to keep hold until Parker Mara just pressured out by Brady Ballou.
Mara's been pretty solid this afternoon. A little sloppy in possession there, though. He's giving the ball back to Tulsa too soon.
Kimura just loses out. Good challenge from Gonzalez. And
Well done.
Maloto was trying to find him, but it's deflected away in midfield. Gonzalez still pocket of space on this left-hand side. Iwasa, nice little cut move. He's found a good run as well. Gonzalez now just keeping it in play. We'll just go back to Cameron Iwasa and now Parker Marr.
I like that decision not to cross from Gonzalez there. No one was really in the box making a run. Now Tulsa back on the ball, but Rangers can just be patient, stay poised, composed in the attacking third. This is the position they want to be in right now, is with the ball. And wayward pass from Musa gets caught in the wind, and now the spell is over.
That's all it takes, a miscommunication between Musa and Barnathan, and now the Roughnecks back on the ball. Barnathan just clattering into the back of Calistri there. Just under 5 minutes to go here. 1-1 still to score. As Swope Park Rangers opened the scoring in the second half. Cameron Owasso with a smashed home finish, leaving the keeper with no chance as he buried it into the top left corner. But Omar Ballo just plays that out of play. Turned home a Joey Calistri cross for an own goal, and that's where we stand. Bourgeois, he's been a bundle of energy in midfield since he's come in, and there's a late challenge. Barnathan trying to clear, and Kondrakin came in really late there, and he will go into the book as well. A yellow card for Pasha Kondrakin.
Yeah, it's an easy call for the referee, John Freeman, I believe. High boot there from Kondrakin. As we're going to see it again. Catches Barnathan high there. Yeah, he'll follow through, actually, perhaps with his arm. Either way, reckless challenge, and one that is going to be bookable every day of the week.
Some fair play from the Tulsa sideline there. Checking on Dakota Barnathan after that challenge. That's going to be a sore one. You can still see him testing out his right foot. Never feels good when you get the studs on the top of your foot like that. The yellow card kind of settling things down here as the game had ramped up. Both teams searching for a winner. Barnathan, that's a great ball to split some lines, but the Owasso's pass just a bit short. And Bourgeois intercepts. He plays it forward for Kafa.
Bourgeois has been pretty bright since his introduction, Carter.
Sure has. Calistri there. Been bright all game. Just can't find the feet of his teammate, Joaquin Rivas. Doyle with the big switch over to Dakota Barnathan. Owasso was trying to play some mind games there. Just didn't quite fool Modu Jadama.
Saw exactly what he was doing, pointing in the right direction and then turning left. Jadama with him every step of the way there. I have to say he's been probably Tulsa's most solid defender of the game.
Here's a ball lofted over the defense, and a good first touch, but just not enough after that, as the strength of Omar Ballo allows him to outduel the guile of Juan Kafa.
Good stuff there from Ballo, and I think he was unfortunate to commit that own goal. I think his performance today has warranted more than what we'll see in the box score. Certainly Ballo, an asset in central defense. We saw him really take off last year and back in the fray again in 2017.
Still time, though, to make a difference in the box score. Quickly taken throw in here, too quickly as well. Leo Maloto just trying to get things started and perhaps had thrown it from too far of an advanced position. So the Rangers will start now. Little back heel. Duke, edge of the area. Maloto turning away from goal, and now it's Belmar who will have a run, and it's a foul and a penalty. A huge moment for the Swope Park Rangers. Carlton Belmar ducking to his right, drawing a foul, and what a huge chance now for the Rangers to grab all 3 points.
What a huge chance for the Rangers, and what a call from referee John Freeman. This challenge right on the edge as Belmar cuts past Corrales, and yeah, that's probably just inside. John Freeman was confident pointing to the penalty spot, and what a fantastic opportunity now for the Swope Park Rangers.
Jorge Corrales, the guilty party. He fouled Carlton Belmar. And now a penalty kick as we move past regular time here in the second half. Mark Anthony Gonzalez will take the responsibility, and he has a chance to put the Rangers ahead. Slow run up, and an excellent finish. Pinpoint to the bottom left corner. The goalie goes the right way, but it's just too strong a penalty. And 2-1 now to the Rangers, and surely a home win on the cards.
A perfect penalty from Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Cleanly struck low into the left corner. Couldn't have placed this one any better. As we see here, he slots it past Cerda. Fantastic stuff. And well done from Carlton Belmar to win that penalty kick in the first place. And the Rangers now in prime position to take all 3 points.
So Mark Anthony Gonzalez gets his second goal of the year. And what a goal as well. The second goal of the game for the Rangers. Still some added time left to defend, though. And that'll be a great start. Parker Marr just ushering it out of play. And full credit to Mark Anthony Gonzalez as well, because Fabian Cerda, known for his penalty heroics, as he stopped 2 in PK shootout against San Antonio in the U.S. Open Cup. So the 6-foot Chilean goalie, not a stranger to saving penalties, but Mark Anthony Gonzalez stepped up and fired home.
Cool as you like for Mark Anthony, really. Could not have placed it any better.
And now a great first-time ball. Gonzalez onside, fools the keeper. Slams it home at the near post. Gonzalez at the double. 3-1 to the Rangers.
And this is a wonderfully savvy finish from Mark Anthony Gonzalez, who has his late brace. What he does is he opens his body up as if he's going to put the ball into the far post. Instead, he puts it right past Cerda in the center of the goal here. Ball played through. Mark Anthony Gonzalez opening up and then going near post. Fantastic.
And how about that pass from Libo Maloto? Substitute to substitute there. You can see Gonzalez ever thankful as well. And that will be the last kick of the game. Some super sub appearances from Cameron Owasa and Mark Anthony Gonzalez. It was a late show here as a late penalty proves to be the difference. The Swope Park Rangers back to winning ways at home.
Well, this game was delicately poised from minute 1 to minute 90. It was decided in the second half stoppage time, essentially. The Rangers found a second gear. That penalty kick won by Belmar, converted by Gonzalez, opened up Tulsa in the very late stages. And Gonzalez was able to get behind the defense again. A savvy finish. One that sealed all 3 points.
3 goals for the Rangers, 3 points at home. It's a 3-1 final here as the Swope Park Rangers defeat the Tulsa Roughnecks. Stick with us. We'll be right back for full-time stats, highlights, and analysis in this USL Western Conference Showdown. Final score, Swope Park Rangers 3, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 1. Back here in post-game as the Swope Park Rangers run out 3-1 victors over Tulsa Roughnecks FC. That will move the Rangers up to 16 points, which means they will pass the Tulsa Roughnecks, who still remain on 15 points despite having played a game more. And Mark Anthony Gonzalez was the hero in the end, but Sam Cobson, it was a game full of action and full of goals in the second half as well.
Could have gone either way, and if you're Tulsa, you shouldn't be ashamed with this afternoon's performance. And if you're the Swope Park Rangers, Carter, I think it's a fair reward for the quality of performances that we've seen over the last 3 games. The wins have eluded them, but the quality of performance has been there, and today they were rewarded for that performance with all 3 points.
So let's take a look at what transpired in this Swope Park Rangers victory. A look at the highlights here, and it was Cameron Iwasa getting things started in the second half.
Just a venomous attempt right into the top corner. Set up by Parker Marr. Fantastic stuff from Cameron Iwasa.
Then, sometime later, good work from Joey Calistri, and it's turned home. Omar Ballo gets an own goal.
And it was probably a goal that Tulsa deserved, as they were creating a lot of danger at that point in time. And as I said, it looked like we were destined for a 1-1.
Destined for a 1-1 until this, the most pivotal moment of the game. Carlton Belmar fouled. Mark Anthony Gonzalez finishes.
And the poise shown from Mark Anthony Gonzalez to pick the corner out. Second half stoppage time. As good a penalty as you'll see.
And then a late one straight from a goal kick. Just a wonderful first-time pass from Leo Moloto to set Gonzalez up again.
And cool as you like from Mark Anthony Gonzalez. Looks like he's going far post, but then he goes near. And that seals the deal.
And that was the final kick of the game as well. The Swope Park Rangers getting 3 second-half goals, including 2 past the 90th minute or later. Sam Cobson, an excellent game today to watch, and an important 3 points as well for the Swope Park Rangers.
Huge 3 points for the Rangers, as they only collected 1 victory over their previous several matches. To get a victory today, I think, is more than deserving for the type of performances that they showed against San Antonio FC, even though they were unable to come away with the results on those occasions.
So the Swope Park Rangers win it by a score of 3-1. They'll be back in action next weekend against Phoenix Rising. A chance to extend this home. Wonderful winning ways. Thanks to Jordan Burrell, Brad Zimmerman, Jason Briley, and all the rest of our wonderful crew here in Kansas City, Missouri. For Sam Cobson, I'm Carter Augustine. Thanks for tuning in for us. Final score, Swope Park Rangers 3, Tulsa Roughnecks FC 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.